Welcome, everyone, to a truly special broadcast. Today, we are bringing you breaking news from the world of professional tennis news that is not just another headline, but a historic milestone that will be remembered for years to come. As someone dedicated to analyzing and tracking global sports developments, I can tell you that the latest updates from the tennis world have set the data charts on fire. The numbers have been finalized. The calculations are complete, and the Women's Tennis Association rankings have officially been updated as of Friday, March 13, 2026. It is now confirmed Alexandra Eala, the 20-year-old tennis prodigy from Quezon City in the Philippines, has reached a brand new career high. She is now officially ranked world number 28. Take a moment to truly absorb that number 28 in the world out of the thousands of professional tennis players competing across the globe, from the grueling ITF circuits to the highly competitive WTA Tour. Alexandra Eala now stands among the top 30 players on the planet. This is not just a personal achievement, it is a moment of enormous significance for an entire nation. For the Philippines, a country of more than 100 million people, this milestone represents something much bigger than rankings or statistics. It represents possibility, it represents belief, and it represents the arrival of a new global sports star understanding the brutal tennis ranking system to truly appreciate the magnitude of reaching world number 28 at just 20 years old. We have to understand how brutal and unforgiving the world of professional tennis truly is. Unlike team sports, tennis offers no safety net. There are no teammates to share responsibility, no substitutes to replace you on a bad day. It is simply you, your racket, and the opponent across the net. Every single ranking point must be earned through physical battles and mental endurance. Professional players travel constantly, crossing continents, adjusting to new time zones, competing in extreme weather conditions, and adapting to entirely different playing surfaces. And even when you succeed, the pressure never disappears. That's because the WTA ranking system operates on a rolling 52-week format. Points earned 1 year ago begin to disappear unless you defend them. It's like running on a treadmill that never stops moving. To climb the rankings, a player cannot simply maintain their level. They must continuously improve, continuously adapt, continuously defeat players who are just as hungry and determined as they are. The rise of Alexandra Eala. For Alexandra Eala, the journey to world number 28 has been nothing short of extraordinary. Just over a year ago, she was fighting outside the top 100, grinding through smaller tournaments on the ITF circuit. Those events are the proving grounds of professional tennis, where young players learn the harsh realities of the tour's small crowds, endless travel, long matches with little spotlight. But within that environment, Eala possessed something rare, a unique combination of natural talent, relentless discipline, and remarkable composure under pressure. Much of that foundation was built during her years training at the famous Rafa Nadal Academy, where she refined her technique, mental strength, and tactical intelligence. Coaches quickly recognized that she had something special. Her heavy left-hand forehand could dominate rallies. Her movement allowed her to cover the court effortlessly, and perhaps most importantly, she demonstrated a calm maturity rarely seen in players so young. A new star for the Philippines. For decades, Philippine sports has produced incredible champions in other disciplines. The country has celebrated legends in boxing, basketball, weightlifting, and gymnastics, but tennis had long searched for a global superstar capable of competing at the very top level, someone who could go beyond participation and truly challenge the world's best players. Now many believe Alexandra Eala is that player. When the rankings updated today, confirming her rise from world number 32 to world number 28, the reaction across the Philippines was immediate. Social media erupted with celebration. Fans in Manila shared the news with pride, and across the global Filipino community, supporters expressed excitement about what this milestone represents, because this ranking is more than just a number. It is mathematical proof of something much bigger. It confirms that Eala's breakthrough performances over the past year were not temporary, not a lucky streak, not a one-time surge. Instead, they represent the emergence of a permanent contender in women's tennis, the beginning of something bigger. At just 20 years old, reaching the top 30 places Alexandra Eala among some of the most exciting young talents in the sport, and if her trajectory continues at this pace, many analysts believe she could soon be knocking on the door of the top 20 or even the top 10. But rankings alone do not define a champion. What truly defines great players is their ability to evolve, to learn from defeats, to adapt their game against stronger opponents, and to continue rising when the spotlight grows brighter. Fortunately for Eala, those qualities are already visible. Her work ethic, her composure, her hunger to improve all suggest that this milestone might not be the peak of her journey, but merely the beginning, a historic moment. So today, as the tennis world updates its official records, we pause to recognize a historic achievement. Alexandra Eala is now world number 28, a remarkable accomplishment for a 20-year-old, a proud moment for the Philippines, and a clear signal that a new era of global tennis talent is rising. The journey is far from over. In fact, it may only be getting started. Tennis. Now we want to hear from you. Do you believe Alexandra Eala can reach the top 10 in the world within the next few years? Let us know your prediction in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most exciting stories in tennis today, make sure to subscribe for more updates, analysis, and global sports coverage. Entering the top 30 in professional tennis is not just another ranking milestone, it is a career-changing threshold for players on the Women's Tennis Association Tour. Crossing into the top 30 dramatically alters the trajectory of their professional journey. When a player reaches world number 28, as Alexandra Eala has now done, everything begins to change. For the first time in their career, they are virtually guaranteed to be seated at Grand Slams and premier WTA 1000 tournaments. And being seeded matters. It means avoiding the highest-ranked players in the chaotic and dangerous early rounds instead of facing a top-5 opponent on day one. A seeded player receives a structured pathway deeper into the tournament draw. That advantage creates opportunities to reach the second week of major tournaments, accumulate huge ranking points, and secure life-changing prize money. It is the difference between fighting for survival on a quiet outside court and walking onto a packed stadium as an established contender. The timing of this breakthrough, the timing of this achievement is particularly fascinating right now. The tennis world is in the middle of the legendary Sunshine Double, the back-to-back hardcourt tournaments of Indian Wells Open in California and the Miami Open in Florida. These two tournaments are among the most prestigious events outside the Grand Slams, and this year, Alexandra Eala arrived in the California desert with enormous expectations. She had already started the 2026 season strongly. She reached the semifinals in Auckland, the quarterfinals in Abu Dhabi, and had several strong performances across the early calendar. But the season also included setbacks. There were early exits in Doha and a difficult quarterfinal loss to Coco Gauff in Dubai. That meant the pressure at Indian Wells was immense. She needed a strong performance, not just to maintain her ranking, but to push even higher, and that is exactly what she did. Her breakthrough run at Indian Wells in her very first main draw appearance at the Indian Wells Open, Eala reached the round of 16. That result alone delivered 120 ranking points. More importantly, it proved something crucial: she belongs on the biggest stages in tennis. Throughout the tournament, she demonstrated the traits that define champions. She capitalized on opportunities, she showed resilience when her back was against the wall, and she embraced the energy of the crowd in what many players call tennis paradise. By the end of the event, she walked away with more than $150,000 in prize money and a ranking surge that pushed her to world number 28. Her 2026 season earnings climbed close to $400,000, while her career prize money surged well past $1 million. For a 20-year-old athlete, those numbers are staggering, but they only tell part of the story. The match that tested her limits. Her campaign began with a dangerous opponent. In the second round, she faced Ukraine's powerful baseline hitter Diana Yastremska. Yastremska is known for explosive power and relentless aggression. From the very first rally, the match turned into a physical war. Eala captured the opening set 75, showing remarkable composure in critical moments, but Yastremska responded in the second set, unleashing her power to take it 64. Everything came down to a dramatic final set. With the stadium buzzing, both players traded brutal baseline rallies. This is where fitness and mental strength decide matches, and Eala proved she had both. Late in the deciding set, she broke Yastremska's serve and closed the match 75-46-75. It was a statement victory. She had proven she could withstand the tour's most powerful hitters. The rematch, everyone wanted that win, set up one of the most anticipated matches of the tournament, a clash with world number 4 Coco Gauff. Just weeks earlier, Gauff had crushed Eala in Dubai 60-62, but Eala is a student of the game under the guidance of her coaching Team she studied that match carefully. When they stepped onto Stadium 1, everything looked different this time. Eala played fearless aggressive tennis. She held her ground on the baseline, she took the ball early, and she dictated rallies with her powerful left hand. Forehand. The first set was stunning. Eala broke Goff multiple times and surged to a commanding 6-2 lead. However, during the match, it became clear that Goff was struggling physically after trailing 52. She took a medical timeout and heavily taped her arm. Eala remained focused and continued her relentless pressure early in the second set, with Eala leading 20. Goff made the difficult decision to retire from the match. It marked Eala's third career victory over a top-5 player, a moment bigger than tennis. But what happened next was perhaps even more powerful than the match itself. The match took place on International Women's Day. During her on-court interview, Eala asked for the microphone. She delivered a heartfelt message, thanking the women who paved the way in sports and praising Coco Gauff as an inspiration. It was a moment that resonated far beyond tennis. Journalists began calling it the Eala experience, not just great tennis, but leadership, empathy, and authenticity. The reality check. But the WTA Tour never slows down. After that emotional victory, Eala faced the powerful Czech rising star Linda Noskova in the round of 16. Noskova executed a devastating game plan. She unleashed a massive serve, struck 7 aces, and attacked Eala's serve from the very first game. Noskova broke early and never looked back. The result was a swift 62-60 victory for Eala. It was a tough loss, but her reaction afterward revealed her champion mindset. She told reporters she was proud of reaching the 4th round because progress in tennis is never perfectly linear. It is a journey of peaks and valleys, and this run delivered exactly what she needed. The math behind the ranking surge. The ranking system is brutally precise. Eala only had 10 points to defend from the same period last year. By earning 120 points, she gained a net increase of 110 points. That mathematical boost pushed her from world number 32 to world number 28, a historic moment for Philippine tennis. The weapon that makes her dangerous. Eala's game is built around a devastating left-hand forehand. Analysts often describe the shot as dreamy. She generates heavy topspin while maintaining incredible pace. Opponents are pushed deep behind the baseline, opening the court for sharp angles. Her movement and anticipation were also shaped during her training at the Rafa Nadal Academy. Instead of reacting late, she attacks the ball early and takes it on the rise. This aggressive positioning is what allows her to dictate rallies. The breakthrough that started everything. To understand this rise, we must go back to 2025. That was the year everything changed. At the Miami Open, Eala produced a stunning Cinderella run. Entering as a wild card, she defeated multiple major champions, including Elena Ostapenko, Madison Keys, and even shocked the world by eliminating Iga Swiatek. She became the first Filipino player ever to reach a WTA 1000 semifinal. That run launched her into the global spotlight, a cultural phenomenon. Today, Eala is doing something even bigger. She is transforming the global tennis audience. Her success is inspiring fans throughout Southeast Asia. Young athletes across the Philippines now see a pathway that once seemed impossible. She represents pride, ambition, and possibility, and she carries that responsibility with humility. The next challenge, Miami. Now the tour shifts to the Miami Open, and this year will be very different. Last year she arrived as an unknown wild card. This year she returns as world number 28. She will be seeded, and she will have a massive target on her back. Even more importantly, she must defend 390 ranking points from last year's semi-final run. Every match will be high pressure, but if her performances at Indian Wells proved anything, it is that Alexandra Eala thrives in big moments. A star who is here to stay. At just 20 years old, Alexandra Eala has already rewritten the history books of Philippine tennis. She is no longer just a promising young player. She is a legitimate force on the global stage, and her journey is only beginning.